Working with home buyers as a real estate agent is exciting. You get to help people with the largest financial decision of their lives and play a pivotal role in helping them have a roof over their heads. There is no better feeling in the world than handing over the keys to someone's brand new home and seeing the excitement and joy in their eyes. But what happens to you as a new realtor when you take on such a huge responsibility and you're not really sure exactly what to do? Maybe you're lacking the confidence and you're not exactly sure what to say. Well, there's a solution, and today I'm going to show you the 3 most important things that all new realtors need to know, what to do with this information, and be able to have the confidence to go out there and work with buyers. So let's jump right into it. Welcome back. I'm the Modern Agent, Jeff Ruby, and I help real estate agents launch, build, and scale profitable businesses. That's right, the ones that actually make you money. And today we are talking about working with buyers. Now, in order to provide buyers with the highest level of service, there are 3 things that you absolutely have to know. Because after all, you want to provide the highest level of service and the most value to all buyers that you're working with, right? So I'm going to go over all 3 of these with you right now, and then I'm going to give you the magic question, which pulls it all together to allow you to maximize your efficiency in working with buyers. Sell more homes and make more money, because that's what you're looking to do, right?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Okay, the first thing that we need to establish when we're working with buyers is location. Where do they want to live? And what is important to them about living in that particular area or in those particular areas that they may be interested in? This could be a family where schools are important. People could be looking for parks. They could be looking for places of worship. They could be looking for trail systems or public transit. There are all kinds of things that home buyers are really looking for when it comes to location. Now, understanding and having a very clear picture of a buyer's location is going to allow you to do a few things. Number 1, it's going to allow you to enter this information into your MLS as a direct search for your client. Now, this is a much better and more efficient way to stay in touch with your clients than having them go out and use websites like Zillow, because we know that they're going to use that unless we provide them a service to send listings directly from us. The other reason is this allows you to go and look for off-market listings. If you know the particular location that your buyers are looking in, you could go knock on doors. You could put a mailer together. You can reach out to private Facebook groups and ask if anybody has any listings coming that may fit your buyer's criteria. Now, don't you think that's a huge value proposition to your buyer clients that you would be able to go and do that for them? Of course it is.
Yahoo! It's a good Yahoo, son.
So make sure you ask the right questions when it comes to location. Very specific neighborhoods in certain towns and cities, and get as granular as you can to be able to provide the most amount of value. Now, the second thing, of course, is very obvious, but there's a few reasons and a few additional resources that you'll be able to use when you have this information. And number 2, of course, is price. You have to know what the price range is for your buyers. Now, there's 2 reasons for this. 1, you have to establish whether or not they have been pre-approved for a mortgage, or if they are simply looking at homes that fit their needs, that fit their criteria, and they're not necessarily looking at the price as far as what they can actually afford. And if somebody is not pre-approved for a mortgage, it's time to stop. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. That's my Monopoly reference for those of you who may not know what that was.
Go directly to jail.
Seriously though, if somebody is not approved for a mortgage, you really need to put the brakes on. Make sure you get them to your preferred mortgage lender to be pre-approved for a loan. Not only is this going to give them a specific price range to work with, but it's going to give you the confidence to then go out and find the homes not only that fit their needs, but that they can actually afford. Because there is nothing worse than showing somebody homes that they can't afford. It's very difficult to then backtrack and come down in price and find them a home that compares to something that they couldn't afford beforehand. The other thing is establishing price really sets the expectations as to what's going on in the market. So understanding what's going on in the market, what's available, is going to provide a ton of value to your clients. Because having those realistic expectations makes things a lot easier when you're working with buyers. It keeps things moving forward, it keeps things smooth, and it keeps things out in the open so there's nothing uncovered when it comes to what you can look at and what you shouldn't be showing them. And of course, having price helps you put that information, of course, into the MLS. So once you have the price and once you have the location, now you're establishing criteria for your buyer's needs that you can put into the MLS. You can also reach out for off-market listings, knowing that you have location and knowing that you have price. So number 3, super important, and this one is time frame. What are the buyer's expectations as to when they'd like to be in their home? And there's certain things that you need to know along the way in order to establish what that time frame is. Because after all, you're going to treat somebody who's looking to close on their home in the next 60 days a lot differently than you would for somebody who may be a year out from buying. Your follow-up processes are going to be different. How you send them properties, the frequency of properties that get sent to them is going to be different, all dependent upon the time frame. And when you understand the time frame, it gives you a lot of confidence in your follow-up. This way you don't feel like you're being too pushy, or you don't feel like you're being a salesperson. You just feel more comfortable. And when you're more comfortable in what you're doing, you're naturally going to be more confident. And trust me, when it comes to confidence, people on the other end, they're going to sense it. And they're going to know whether or not you're confident or not. So those are the 3 most important things that you need to know, some questions to ask, some ways to go about establishing this information, and why it's so important. So now I want to give you the magic question. Now this is a question that I learned years ago, and once I started implementing it into my business, a whole new part of my business opened up. And here's the question, and I want you to write this down. Are you ready? So whenever somebody answers your question such as, so what price range are you comfortable with? And they say $500,000, for example. You would come back and say, what is important to you about $500,000? And they may say, well, that's the price of homes we've been looking at on Zillow. That may or may not lead to whether or not they've been pre-approved for a mortgage. They may say, that's what we've been pre-approved for. So they've already answered that question for you about whether they've been pre-approved for a mortgage. You don't even have to ask that question. Here's another example. For instance, somebody is moving to your town and you ask them, what is important to you about moving to fill in the blank for your town? And they tell you, well, we're really interested in the great schools in the town that we're moving to. That'll probably indicate that they have a family. That allows you to ask some deeper questions. Oh, great, so you're interested in the schools. Sounds like you have a family. Then you start talking about the family. This is how you build relationships. This is how you provide value, and this is how you work with buyers most effectively and most efficiently so you can sell more homes and make more money. So make sure you're digging deep on all 3 of these major things that you need to know in working with buyers by asking the magic question, what is important to you about that? So speaking of what's important to you about that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten any value out of this video whatsoever, go ahead and give it a like, a thumbs up down below. And I do put out new videos every week, so make sure and subscribe also. and comment down below. Put your questions in there. I want to hear from you, and I do reply to each and every one of you. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, see ya.